The Philippines takes a unique spot in Southeast Asia. It's one of the few countries in the region whose economic growth hasn't been fueled by oil and gas. Unlike its powerhouse neighbors, who've built their success largely on oil and gas production, the Philippines follows a different path. In fact, among the ASEAN 6, its oil and gas industry is the least developed. Curious why that is? Stick around, because the answer may surprise you. Producing just 9,650 barrels of oil a day, while consuming a staggering 429,000 barrels daily, the Philippines heavily relies on imported petroleum to meet its needs. This dependence makes it the largest importer of petroleum products for domestic use in the region. Compare that to its neighboring nations, where oil production drives their economies, and you can see how the Philippines charts a very different course. Why does this disparity exist? Keep watching to uncover the bigger picture. Why does the Philippines produce so little oil compared to its neighbors, even though they share the same geographical region? Here's where it gets intriguing. The country holds an estimated $26.3 trillion worth of untapped oil deposits within its 200-mile exclusive economic zone. Let that sink in. $26.3 trillion. These hidden reserves are scattered across the archipelago, with key sites like the Reed Bank, by far the largest, and the Mischief Reef in the disputed Spratly Islands. Reports from the U.S. Geological Survey in China's Ministry of Geology and Mineral Resources suggest that the Spratly Islands alone could hold up to 17.1 billion barrels of oil. To put things into perspective, that's more than the oil reserves of Kuwait, one of the world's top producers. If properly harnessed, these resources could not only eliminate the need for expensive oil imports, but also transform the Philippines into a major oil exporter. Imagine a future where rising gas prices are no longer a weekly headache, and poverty is a thing of the past. There's already progress on this front. Efforts to revive the stagnant oil industry include the redevelopment of the Cadlao oil field, which had been dormant since the early 1990s. Could this mark the beginning of a new era for the Philippines? Stay tuned because this story is far from over. While the Cadlao oil field's estimated 6.2 million barrels of recoverable oil won't revolutionize local supply, it's a step toward reducing the Philippines' reliance on petroleum imports. Production is set to begin by 2024, and efforts are already underway to breathe new life into the Malampaya natural gas fields, which face depletion by 2027. The Malampaya oil and gas field, located 50 kilometers west of Palawan, has been a powerhouse since its inception. By the end of 2017, it had yielded an impressive 1.9 trillion standard cubic feet of gas and 75 million barrels of natural gas liquids. Its significance is undeniable. It powers 5 major plants in Luzon, the country's largest island, with a combined output of 3,200 megawatts. But the story doesn't end there. Experts believe untapped oil and gas deposits lie hidden across the archipelago. Promising areas include the northern province of Cagayan, Ragay Gulf in Bicol, offshore Mindoro, the new Palawan Block, northern Cebu, and the Cotabato Basin. Could these discoveries reshape the Philippines' energy future? Stick around to see how this journey unfolds. In 2018, the Department of Energy, in partnership with China International Mining Petroleum Company Limited, uncovered a significant find in Alegria, Cebu, an estimated 27.9 million barrels of inland oil, with 3.4 million barrels deemed recoverable. Alongside this, they identified around 9.4 billion cubic feet of natural gas, of which 6.6 billion cubic feet, roughly 70% of the total, can be extracted. Meanwhile, the vast Liguasan Marsh, covering 2,200 hectares across Cotabato, Maguindanao, and Sultan Kudarat, is estimated to hold a staggering 3.4 trillion cubic feet of natural gas and 4.8 billion barrels of crude oil. Earlier this year, the Department of Energy approved the development of Area 9 in the Cotabato Basin by SK Liguasan Oil and Gas Corporation, a Mindanao-based exploration firm. But not every exploration yields the expected treasure. Take the Benham Rise off Aurora Province. Once suspected to harbor petroleum riches, it was ultimately found lacking in oil deposits. However, it holds a wealth of minerals and aquatic resources, including gas hydrates or methane, considered a potential game changer in the energy sector. These gas hydrates, found in deep ocean beds and beneath Arctic permafrost, could dwarf the world's combined oil, natural gas, and coal reserves if economically developed. Other promising fields have been identified in the Sulu and Sulu Seas off the southern Philippines. With so much potential wealth beneath its land and waters, why hasn't the Philippines fully harnessed these natural resources? The answer is as complex as the challenges involved, so stay with us to uncover the untold story behind this missed opportunity. One major reason the Philippines struggles to tap into its vast oil reserves is the challenge of security and geopolitical tensions. Many of the country's oil-rich areas, like the Reed Bank and Mischief Reef, are located within the disputed Spratly Islands. These islands, along with surrounding reefs, banks, and caves in the South China Sea, are claimed by multiple nations, including China, the Philippines, Taiwan, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Brunei. This territorial standoff has made exploration and development risky and politically sensitive. Back in 2011, the Hydrocarbons Technology Industry Journal spotlighted the Philippines as a promising new frontier for oil exploration, alongside Argentina. It highlighted four key areas: the Spratly Islands, the Sulu Sea, the Celebes Sea, and the Philippine Sea. Of these, some of the richest untapped petroleum reserves are believed to lie in unexplored regions within the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, BRMM. A study by East Hawk Master, in collaboration with EEYG Development Consulting Incorporated, identified the Sulu Sea and large portions of the Cotabato region as highly prospective petroleum basins. According to the Philippines Department of Energy, the offshore Sulu Sea Basin holds an estimated 203 million barrels of oil equivalent, while the Cotabato Basin has a potential of 159 million barrels of oil and 29 billion cubic feet of confirmed gas deposits. What makes these two basins stand out? Unlike the Spratlys, they are located entirely within undisputed Philippine territory. Could these areas be the key to unlocking the nation's energy independence? Stay with us as we explore how these resources could transform the country's future. Just last month, the Department of Energy called for immediate gas exploration in the Recto Bank, a vital resource controlled by billionaire Manny B. Pangilinan. Beyond that, future exploration is planned in other promising areas, including the Visayas, Bicol, and northern Luzon regions. The Philippines is essentially sitting on a treasure trove, an estimated $26.3 trillion worth of hydrocarbon deposits within its 200-mile exclusive economic zone. This staggering figure is more than enough to transform the nation into an advanced economy. Yet, the country's upstream oil and gas sector has remained largely dormant for years, held back by the persistent territorial disputes in the South China Sea, which scare off potential investors. Despite these challenges, the current administration is determined to unlock the full potential of these resources. Their goal? To drive the nation's economic progress and secure its future. But here's the big question. Can the Philippines overcome these geopolitical hurdles and tap into its $26.3 trillion oil reserves? Or will territorial disputes continue to stand in the way of prosperity? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think.